Buddy, I'm Hank Wentz, and I'm here today with my friend and fellow author, Elaine Durbach, on the occasion of her new book. So, Elaine, to start, why don't you tell us a little about your background?
Sure. I'm from Zimbabwe and Zambia, Central Africa originally, and then South Africa. And I came to the States when I was 28 on a journalism, actually, sorry, I came when I was 25 on a journalism fellowship for a year, wonderful thing called the World Press Institute. And I came back when I was 28, married an American. And I've been here most of the time since then. Many trips back to South Africa, but I've been living here most of the time since then.
Okay, about your book. You have a copy you can hold up?
I do.
I just happen to have one.
So this is the first book, the
Yeah.
new cover of the first book, designed to match this one, which is the second book.
Okay. So, what genre is this? Who are the readers?
Well, it's probably literary fiction. It's a love story, but it's not a love story in the genre sense. It's a story of a couple who are in their 60s, he's on his 70s, who had met as students and fallen in love way back in their youth, and then fought and parted, went their separate ways, and then met up in America. They were living in South Africa, met up in America, married to other people, couldn't be together. They finally get back together in Cape Town in South Africa, and 5 years into this final bliss, he dies of an aneurysm. And roundabout, the first book is a story of her trying to come to terms with what kept them apart all those years, and whether in fact he did love her or didn't love her, so that she can move on with her life. And Laugh, which is life after Felix, Laugh is where she is actually moving on. In this following year, his grandchild is born, and she goes to see his daughter, see the new grandchild. And she meets a man who seems to be the closest thing she can come to a substitute, closest she could have to having Felix back. But of course, he's not the substitute, and a whole string of other complications come about.
Okay. So, why a sequel? Why did you write a sequel?
I had no intention of doing it. I'm not all that keen on series myself, and I'd written this one-off story that seemed very complete. Then people started asking me what happened to the characters. They said they were reluctant to part with them at the end of Roundabout. And one man in particular who'd lost his wife really moved me. He said, I've got to know that she has a life, that Sally goes on to a future. And I began realizing that I knew not the long-term future, but I knew what happened to Sally next. I knew about her meeting this man whom she thought was a substitute for Felix, and how wrong that could go. The characters were still speaking to me, so I sat down and wrote what they were telling me.
Yeah, that always helps, having a character speak to you.
Yeah, it can be frustrating because sometimes they tell you things that were not where you intended them to go.
Yeah. Okay, this is first person narration, so this is a little tricky question.
Mm.
Much of Sally's story is autobiographical.
That first person narration sets up an expectation. But
Yeah.
she's certainly in the beginning a redhead ballet dancer, very petite, beautiful dancer, music teacher. I have absolutely tone deaf and two left feet. I can't dance at all. And I'm very tall and used to be black haired. So not Sally at all. I actually don't know where Sally came from. And I had to check, I had to run her by my friends who are into music and who dance to make sure that everything about her actually could be true of a ballet dancer. But the man that she's been in love with all these years, was inspired by a boyfriend of mine from university days, from college. And I met up with him on one of my return trips to South Africa, and we became probably better friends than we had been in the past. And it set me thinking about what would happen with a couple who meet when their life experience has taught them a lot of new things.
Mm-hmm.
And the story is really about revisiting the past with the wisdom gained from life, and whether you can change the way you've remembered things and possibly heal things that, had hurt all one's life.
Yeah. Okay, next one. These books are self-published. Excuse me. What's the best and the worst thing about self-publishing?
Uh, I had written 2 other books where I'd reached out to agents very tentatively and gotten nowhere. When I wrote this, I wanted it published, and I didn't want to spend years trying to find an agent who would take on somebody in her late 60s,
Yeah,
somebody with a background as a journalist and a nonfiction writer, published 2 nonfiction books way back, but no fiction. And I just decided I'm not wasting time. And the wonderful thing about Amazon, Kindle direct publishing, you can do it theoretically for free. It costs you nothing to actually put it up on Amazon, because the cost comes in getting it edited well,
yeah,
getting a cover designed. And I needed somebody technical who could help me do the uploading. But the fact that I could do it and I could do it really quickly was incredibly exciting to me. And then, of course, you're saddled with the marketing, trying to get it out to those readers. As you know,
there's
Hank,
that.
you're the expert on that. You've tried to
Yeah,
help a lot of us.
yeah. That's pretty much what I have also. It's how fast it can go, and um, the marketing.
And of course, they say to us now that even if you go with conventional publishing, you still have to do your own marketing,
Yeah,
unless you're a hot property.
yeah. Oh, excuse me. Oh,
Would you like to get
there's
some?
another Sally book on
Want to
my.
get some water?
Oh, I got some here.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there another Sally book? And they offer.
Yeah, there is. To my surprise, 3 books when there was meant to be 1, and I'm having trouble with the 3rd one because there are patterns that were established in the first 2 that I'd like to continue,
Mhm.
but it's not the same kind of spontaneous taking dictation process. Now there are many threads that need to be woven together, and you don't want to be repetitive, but at the same time, you want to fill in for somebody who might not have read the first 2 or
Yeah.
read a long time ago. But there is still stuff that there are lessons that Sally is learning in this year after Felix's death that I'm hooked on, that I'm still dying to explore. So yeah, there's a 3rd book. I'm about a third of the way in.
Okay, good. So where can where can people find these books?
At the moment on Amazon, I believe that Barnes and Noble might have them. Some of the other sites have them as well. I'm trying to get them onto Ingram Spark, which hopefully would get them into some bookstores and libraries. But
Mhm.
if people look for them, if you ask at a library, if you ask at a bookstore, they can get them from Amazon if people don't want to do that themselves. But
Okay.
they're available. There's one complication that because I had done a first edition of Roundabout with a different cover, the book that pops up initially looks different. You need to tap on that and the new book comes up, or a little flag that says there is a newer edition.
Mhm.
They are there and they can be ordered. Or
Okay.
people can contact me at durbachelaine@gmail.com, and I will put you in touch with where to get some books.
Okay.
And I have a website, elainedurbach.com.
Okay. All right. I guess that's it for now. Bye.
Thank you so much. That was great. Thank you.
Bye.